Hello and welcome back to Down the Track.
No worries, go, continue.
The पूरा उल्टा हो गया. Sorry,
It's
sorry,
okay, it's
sorry.
okay. It's
You can
okay.
ca- you can you can cut this part out.
Yeah, go for it.
Are you sure? This is a live.
Yeah. Go for it, no problem.
Okay, I think Musti is making fun of me. He's gonna enjoy this. I think at a later time. But welcome back to Down the Track. We will be talking about the third Test match between India and South Africa. Very very important Test match for both teams for a variety of different reasons. South Africa coming back after a loss in the first Test and showing a extreme character in the second and winning it. And for India, I think a time to prove that they are the number one side. This is the only place that they haven't dominated yet so far. They've gone to Australia, they won. They've gone to England, they won. They've gone to other places and they won. South Africa is one of the places that they haven't been lucky with in terms of a series win. So this is going to be an important Test match for India, and of course the World Test Championship is also on the line. So points there is also important because some of the other teams are slowly but surely moving away with it in terms of Australia or and what have you. So the interesting Test match ready in a few hours' time. Musti, your thoughts on the Test match?
Yeah, it's going to be a great test match. Hopefully, a good end to the series. Dean Elgar, I think he said in his press conference that this is going to be their biggest game in the last 10, 15 years. It just goes to show. I think
Yeah.
also like the personnel that he has at whatever has happened in South African cricket in the last few years, it does make it a big win if they do win this because without AB de Villiers, without Faf du Plessis, without Nokia, there's no stain in this side anymore. So I think with this kind of team, if they do beat India, I think credit will go to Dean Elgar and his men. And they've not made this story easy for India. Everyone thought India should have won this Test series comfortably. They should have probably finished at 2-0. They had the upper hand. But South Africa have that fighting spirit, and that's why we love Test cricket, right?
Yeah.
Like you never know who's going to win the Test match. Anything can happen over the period of 5 days, and these pitches in particular, they've been very entertaining. To be very honest with you, like it's been like every half an hour the momentum swings in this kind of series. I think apart from when the last day when Elgar and Bavuma had that partnership, up until then it kept swinging. So I think we're going to see more of that in Cape Town. And India's never won there, but in this series already two things have happened. India never lost in Johannesburg. South Africa never lost in was it the Centurion?
Yeah.
But that's changed, right? So this can change as well. India can create history. But I wanted to ask you, what are your thoughts on team changes? Because Virat Kohli comes in and Siraj is also going to go out. He's not fit enough. So what do you think about the replacements?
I mean, of course, I think Siraj, the replacement would be either Umesh or Ishant. I think they might look at Ishant because Rahul Dravid did mention about the height that the South African
Yes.
bowlers had and gave them. So if we have a tall, lanky, fast bowler in Ishant, you might as well use him. And then in terms of the batting, I think it's a catch-22 situation. Vihari was very good. Rahane and Pujara performed with the bat, but not as much as we would have liked them. We would have liked them to go on for a big score. It's not worked out for them. I think with the way this team is set up and with the way we are seeing the thinking at this point in time, I think they're going to give Pujara and Rahane another chance. And I think unfortunately Vihari will have to miss out because Virat comes in obviously as the captain as well. So. It is unfortunate. I don't see what else they would do. I don't think that they'd spoil the opening partnership of Mayank and KL because they have been good. Both have performed quite well, to be honest. Of course, KL has been phenomenally better than Mayank as well. So it's a little difficult to change that. To change that, the only option you have, even though Vihari had a very good game, it would still be, I think, that unfortunately he'd miss out because you need your five bowlers. I feel like that usage of, unless you think that you used Ash extremely. You barely used Ash, so if you want to just get Ash out for Virat, and then if those 8-10 overs that Ash bowled, you want to just give it to Bihari, that's an option. I wouldn't go that route, but that's one of the options that they could consider. I still think that Bihari and Siraj out, and Virat and Ishant in.
Yeah, I think you'll have to go batsman for batsman. So if you're going Kohli, you go either Pujara or Rahane or Vihari. And unfortunately, it might be Vihari. I don't know what this man's done wrong so far, but I think he will definitely cement his place after this series when, hopefully when India play the home series back
Yeah.
home, he'll be selected. And I think the next 2 3 years it's going to be the Vihari kind of era. I mean, you never know what can happen in terms of form, but I think he'll be more permanent. Right now, he's doing the job whenever called upon, and he's not doing himself any harm. So I think he shouldn't be too worried about it. Of course, you all want to play every single test match, but there is time. He does have time. He has more time than Rahane and Pujara do. And for Rahane and Pujara, I think it's probably their last tour of South Africa for sure. It looks like, and it might me one of their farewells as well. It's too early to say farewell. They're only 33, but it might be they might get dropped after this if it doesn't go in their favor. Even if it does go in their favor, I don't know if they're going to stay or not. So that's one thing. And also very interesting, Virat Kohli. He do you remember? I think after the World Test Championship or just before that, he was talking about Pujara needs to show more intent.
Yeah.
But now he's backing Pujara and Rahane. You think it's because his form himself is like that as well?
It's
I
a
think
funny
Virat
thing.
Kohli is
Yeah.
less cutthroat now, like in terms of on his own players, considering his own form, which rightly so. You can't.
Absolutely. I mean,
Uh,
what you can't expect hundreds from
yeah,
others if you're not going to perform that as
yeah,
as the mainstay batsman in this side. The most experienced mainstay batsman in this side. With that being said, I still think that Rahane and Pujara need to step it up. They have given you those 50s that were required in the time, but there is more that is needed from them. You require to go out there and get those daddy hundreds. The middle order batsmen,
yes,
even in the past, are like the likes of Rahul Dravid, Sachin Tendulkar, VVS Lakshman. These guys have gone out when they've gotten starts. They've converted those to those big centuries. That is what I think that is. But Pujara in the past, we've seen him do that, but unfortunately, it hasn't happened in the recent past, and Rahane has just been woefully out of form. It's funny I say woefully out of form because when he is batting, he looks flawless, and then he does something
yeah,
really stupid to like lose his wicket, especially that first innings shot that he hit. He just went and went straight to deep square leg. That was very very unfortunate. He could have done anything to that shot, and it unfortunately just went high up in the air and an easy catch for
yeah.
I think I don't remember who it was, but Lungi Erigiri is bowling. So things like that, I think he needs to just get that that focus just a tad bit more because I think he's still capable. But I think this is their last chance. I mean, Virat has a little bit more time, but I think that with Bihari knocking on the door and with Shreyas Iyer performing so well at home, I think this is the last chance for these guys to chop it up. Otherwise, it's going to be difficult for them to continue to stake a claim in this team.
Yeah, I think the major thing has been consistency. It was just 1 year ago where Rahane played the innings which got India back into the series against
Yeah,
Australia, and then he was the guy who really kick-started that chase, the famous Rishabh Pant chase. It was Rahane who came and set the tone when he
yeah.
hit Lyon for a couple of sixes. So we're forgetting that this happened just a year ago. So
Not
uh,
even. I mean, I think it was
not
in Jan of last year. I think it was.
yeah. So
So
yeah, almost a year. So I think yeah, like it is much more cutthroat now. I think the fact that India has so many options has become even more pressure on these guys, and patience will wear thin for a lot of people. But I always I try to like back the players just because they do have that ability, and they're not past that age yet, right? They're not
absolutely.
past that age yet. So one last go, and then yeah, I think by making those 40s, 50s, they've already given them a chance in the last test match. One last go, and then after that, despite the result, I think you'll have to look on to the future because you need to ready them. It's not about taking Rahane and Pujara out. It's about who's going to replace them. You're seeing Shreyas Iyer, right? I still have doubts about him as a
Of
test
course,
batsman.
absolutely.
Uh,
Only at home, I think
so do
Shreyas Iyer
you.
is an option.
Yeah, so but he will be a mainstay going into the next. He's 26. He's going to be the mainstay in the next tours, like the next cycle of tours. It'll be Iyer, Vihari, these guys. So are they? You have to ready them. So it's not just about uh, moving on from the old guys. It's also preparing the new guys because they won't be. Otherwise, they won't be prepared enough when we do go back to England, New Zealand. Then it's going to be the same problem. You're going to say, "Oh, I wish Rahane was there or Pujara was there." That's what's going to happen if you
Yeah, I
don't
agree
prepare
with you.
them.
I think that's how it's. Unfortunately, they'll have to start looking at other options because even Virat, for that matter, you don't know how much he's also 33 now. How much of
Yeah.
does he have like you play South Africa once in 3 to 4 years. So by the time South Africa plays next, he's over 37, 37, 36, 37. You can't really stake a claim. The way cricket is played, every 2 years there's chopping and changing. So that there will be need to look at some other options as well, like in terms of
But
batting
yeah,
capabilities.
exactly. One thing though, I'm a bit surprised with right now is that like a lot of people, I've heard Sunil Gavaskar say it. Heard other people say it. For a batsman, especially a test batsman, between the age of 32, 33, like that age is actually your peak.
Prime.
That's
Yeah.
when you that's your prime. Like just before, of course, 20. I think all format 26 to 30 is probably your peak. But like Test cricket, Rahane, Kohli, Pujara, they're all at a very good age. If you saw Mike Hussey, he was the brand
Yeah.
ambassador of cricket as the 30s. I think he was the guy who set the tone for all these other guys. Playing in their 30s. He came when he was 29, 30, and
Yeah.
he played until 37, 38. So I think you can make the most of it, but you have to focus on your fitness, and mentally also you have to be in that space.
Absolutely. I think that's what I'm saying. I feel like I still feel like one of these three is going to get a big century this time. I've said this. I feel like I'm the one who's is like literally spoiling their chances or whatever. But yes, I agree with you. I think that they have to be back, but till what point? If this is the
Yeah,
peak, and if this their performance is in the peak, then they will have some questions that will go out there. Um,
yeah,
I just think that there's a lot that we can discuss. We can discuss this all day. I think that the
yeah,
team management has decided that this is going to be the three players that we are going to back in this series. Maybe the series after this, but at some point the team management will have to decide. And questions are being asked. There's no doubt about that. So there will be pressure on them to perform. And if they do, they get some more time. If not, you'll have to look on. And they will be professionals about it too. They will understand that they have to go out there into the domestic circuit, do very well to come back. Otherwise, it's going to be difficult. So that's
100%.
precisely how it's going to be. I think we can move to the bowling now. I think
Yes.
bowling is, yes, they had a poor game, but sometimes every now and again you'll expect the first time in 4 years almost, I believe, that the Indian bowlers have really not stepped up. So I think that we can give them one off game, but just expect them to come back strongly in the next game, which is in the few hours. It's almost the same lineup, but I think, of course, the unfortunate change of Siraj missing out. Would you go with Ishant or Umesh?
I'd just go with Ishant Sharma. I think that again he's also at that age where he might not have as much time left. But more than anything, I think he has in the last 2 3 years, this last cycle that India have done so well. He's been there on these away tours. He has that experience. Umesh Yadav, I think at home he's done wonderfully well. He's got the ball to reverse, but in these kind of conditions, Ishant Sharma has been there, done that, and I think they can use his experience. He does bring a different kind of angle. But at the same time, I'm kind of wary. Like, it's not the same Ishant Sharma as before. He has dropped in pace, so I'm wary of that. But if we can just get him for this Test match, giving it his all, I think it will really help India. Just his experience, and I think he'll just be a bit more consistent in terms of holding that line in length. Umesh Yadav has the ability to spray it around as well. So he'll bowl you four good balls and give you that 1-5 buys kind of thing, which you really can't afford in South Africa.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I think Ishant has that experience, and he is, like I said, the Rahul Dravid kind of extra pace and lanky bowler that is needed. So that, I mean, that's a pretty important change, but it's unfortunately a forced one. Moving to South Africa,
Yes.
I think more of the same from them.
Yeah, it's going to be the same kind of team. I don't see any changes unless there's an injury that I'm not aware of right now. I think they do have a fit team, so it'll be the same thing. I was very impressed by their keeper as well. I think in the first innings he played a crucial role in that partnership with Bavuma. Was it?
Yeah, yeah.
He batted really well, and Jansen is coming to life. Rabada is. I was told that. I mean, I wasn't told, but Dean Elgar said that he told Rabada something before that innings or something in the dressing room, which really stirred him up. And we don't know the details of that, but Rabada is a world-class bowler. He will, come at you. He'll have some off days, but he will come at you. And then you have. I think Olivier, he's doing a really good job. This bowling attack is really good. Add Nokia to the mix. South Africa will be a tough team to beat in pace-friendly conditions.
As especially at home. Yep, I agree
Yeah, at
100%.
home,
I
even
think
if they go to Australia, New Zealand,
Australia.
and England, they can because they have these batsmen who like to guts it out. So
Yeah.
in Australia, that works.
In Australia, it
So
works. In England conditions, it could be a little bit more difficult for them.
yeah,
But in Australian conditions, it will definitely work for them. So it'll be interesting. It's good to see South African cricket, back to the glory that we've known them to have. It's been unfortunate for them past few years. Great to see a great Test match lined up in the
yeah.
next few hours for us. Lot to go, but if winning the toss, who would you? What would you do if you're winning the toss?
Win the toss, bat first, get to 300 by hook or by crook, try to get to 300, and then you have some runs to play around with. So if you have the odd buys and like the extra wides and everything like that, you can tinker around with the field. You have that flexibility. I think if you're bowling first, then you want to get them all out for 200, under 200, whoever you are. Like what South Africa did. I think South
Yeah.
Africa set the template. If you're bowling first,
Yeah.
you can bowl first and win the games here. But I think for India it's tougher. I think that pressure will be enormous. If India was chasing that 240, especially in this test, in this third test, it's going to be a completely different ball game. So
Absolutely.
I think India would like to bat first. But either way, they've shown, the home team has shown that you can win the toss, or you can lose the toss and win the game. And
Absolutely.
there's a formula for that. And for that, you need to take your catches. You need to be more disciplined with the ball. And with the bat, you have to dig in and score whenever possible and try to limit the mistakes. I think Rishabh Pant is one person that I would like to see, not repeat the same thing that he did in the last game.
Absolutely, 100%. Before I let you go, finally, players to watch in each team.
Players to watch in each team. From India, I'm going to go with this is a tough one, but I'm going to go with Mohammad Shami. I just think that this is his year, and I mean, he's looked good in the last couple of test matches. I just hope that he can finish it off with a bang, him and Bumrah. But I'm going to go with Shami. And from South Africa, it's a tough one. Having said that, having already seen Elgar, I'd go with Bavuma, maybe a Bavuma century, because he's been equally a thorn in India's.
Absolutely, I think Elgar and Baguma have both been phenomenally good with the bat, and it's helped with the fact that they've been bowling well. But then the bat also, you need to back the bowlers, and these two have done a splendid job at it. Peterson is looking good as well. I think he
Yes.
needs to convert those small scores into slightly bigger scores. That'll really help his team. But lots to be proud of for the South African side, and if they can really go out there, win this game, and change the series around against the run of against the expectations, so to say. That would be great for them, and it'll be almost like stand up and take notice, like almost the way it was in the T20 World Cup. Also, no one really gave South Africa a chance, but they fought
Exactly.
out there,
Yeah.
and now again they are
Exactly.
fighting as well. So it's beautiful to see that South Africa is not
Yeah.
down and out.
Good. And it's a great lesson for us even in life. Whenever you
Yeah,
have troubles, never give up. You can always fight back, and there's always light at the end of the tunnel.
at the end of
And
the
they've shown
tunnel.
that there are plenty of problems in the country itself, in the cricketing board, and everything. They have problems there, but they're still smiling, coming back and fighting it out. And with whatever resources they have, they're trying to make the most of it. Right?
Right.
That's story of life. Whatever you have to be happy with it, and that's what they're doing. And it's not easy to do that, I think. And you're up against one of the best Indian sides to have toured outside of India. So and this bowling is not easy to face. Bumrah, Shami, Siraj is, I think, one of the best backup bowlers, like a third
Yeah.
bowler.
Yeah.
To come up first change, it's not easy. So to face that kind of bowling, relentless pressure. So yeah, credit to South Africa. Hoping to see a nail biter, and let's see how it goes. If India lose, there'll be a lot of criticism. If India win, there'll still be criticism, but for us it'll be more fun, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to the game. It's in less than 12 hours now, so looking forward to
Yeah,
it. I'll catch you after day one.
yeah, for sure. Thank you so much, man. Take care.
Take care.